Bro, oh. I don't know, I was so confused for a second. Tyler and Colson, what's going on? How's your guys' day going so far? I gotta say, all of the Dior Ohms in my collection are at least, to me, a 9 out of 10. I have 3 Dior Ohms, and it was interesting too because the Dior Homme line was a line that I wanted to get into, but I didn't get into until more recently. I guess I shouldn't say more recently. The one that I've had the longest is Dior Homme Cologne. And this one is absolutely phenomenal. It just doesn't last that long. What's the scent of the day? My scent of the day, Dior Homme Sport 2017. The best Dior Homme Sport. The best Dior Homme Sport, in my opinion. No, the best. Yes, I said that right. Dior Homme Sport 2017, the best Dior Homme Sport, in my opinion. Simply because it has monster longevity and well, I wouldn't say monster projection, but monster longevity for a freshie. And it's just like, yes, it smells pretty much the exact same as the newer reformulations. However, this one is very good, very long lasting. I don't know if it's for you, Colson, but it's really leggy for me. It could be leggy. I don't know. I have bars and everything. So if it is leggy, I can try something, but I don't really know what I'll be able to do. Chris got 1K last night. I was in live. I was in the live when he hit 1K. I was his 1,000th subscriber. Not on this account, but I had like 2 alt accounts. I saw he was like 3 subs away or something like that. And I subbed on one, and then he got another sub, so he was at 999. And then I subbed to him when he was the 1,000th, or for his 1,000th sub. So that was pretty cool for me. I don't know like who my 1,000th subscriber is, or 2,000th subscriber, 3,000th is. I know the only one that honestly sticks out to me is there's this guy who's been on my channel for a long time. I've got a surprise for you is what his handle is. I want to say he was like my 200th, I don't know what I just said, my 200th subscriber, I believe. I don't know exactly what he was, but I know he was like one of my 100th subscribers. What up, Owen? What's going on? Everyone bullies me. Today is my birthday. Well, I hope not everyone bullies you. I think to an extent, a little bullying's fine. But if it goes too far, then that's where it's not good. If today is your birthday, happy birthday. And I hope, if a lot of people bully you, you didn't get as bullied today as you would any other day. I'm good, bro. Greets from the GHE. What is GHE? Guantanamo Bay? No, the Netherlands. Got you. Well, Owen, greetings from America. How do I get famous on YouTube? For someone to answer that question, they would have to be YouTube famous. I'm not YouTube famous. I mean, I'm bigger than a decent amount of people on YouTube, and I'm still growing. My biggest piece of advice that I can give you, be yourself, be honest. In the end, whatever you do on YouTube, people are trusting your words, so you have to keep being honest with your fan base. And the biggest thing, stay consistent. You got to upload. You don't have to upload every day, and some, channels you don't need to upload every day, but a decent amount of them, it's good to upload every single day. What's going on, Alexa? Every day is my birthday. Is it every day? Or is every day your actual birthday? Because every other day is my birthday. Mind me asking what's your channel about? My channel is about cologne. A little bit of perfume. I don't really talk about perfume that much though, simply because I don't wear perfume. But I've done a couple videos like reviewing my girlfriend's fragrance collection, but primarily men's cologne. Scent of the day. My scent of the day is Dior Homme Sport 2017. It's a good blood orange, pink, peppery fragrance. It's just an all-around good fragrance. Good longevity and projection because it is an older batch. Micah Chris is live right now. I didn't see he was live. If I wasn't live, I'd probably be watching his stream right now. Thank you. Yeah, Riley, no problem. Yeah, I mean, like, honestly, consistency is key within everything, but YouTube and social media specifically, consistency is key. If you can, and if the niche that you do on YouTube or whatever social media allows it, post every day. If not, post as often as you can, and try and get on a good upload schedule so people know when you are going to post. Like me, I do 2 shorts a day, which I upload the 2, shorts, which is anything under like 60 seconds. I guess at this point, it's anything under 3 minutes. But, for instance, TikTok, Instagram, YouTube Shorts, I upload 2 shorts to a day. And on YouTube, I do 1 long form every 3 days. What's your favorite fragrance? Haven't seen your channel in a good while. Melanie, my favorite fragrance is still the same. My all-time favorite fragrance is Stronger With You EDT. That has not changed. However, at this moment in time, my favorite fragrance, it's kind of a 3-way tie, but this one I've really been enjoying. Bad Boy Cobalt, the original. Just like a very, very good fragrance. It smells like a powdery blue body wash with plum. Super good. I don't know if I want to watch your stream or his stream. I like both of you guys. I mean, you can also bounce in between both of us. There is a chance, because me and him are both live, Colson, if you're on my live, if you scroll down, there's a decent chance Chris will be the live right under me, or you might have to scroll down a couple times. But if he does, if he does pop up while you're scrolling down, you could just keep popping in between, or obviously do whatever you want. If you want to pop in on mine for 5-10 minutes and pop in on his for 5-10 minutes, it's perfect, Colson. Will your girlfriend be in any of my lives? Yes, my girlfriend will be in some of my lives. Here's my thing. So, obviously, like, the YouTube channel is mine and everything like that. And when me and my girlfriend are hanging out, I enjoy just spending time with her. So, yes, eventually she will pop in on some more lives. It's just really not something we do often because when we're hanging out, that's our time to hang out. Luke, what's going on? But I want to talk about all of my Dior Homme fragrances. We're going to go chronological order with the ones that I got. So, my first ever Dior Homme cologne. This is a beautiful fragrance. It straight up just smells like a lemonade. Easiest way to describe it. It is only cologne formulation, so it does not last that long. And the projection isn't that good. This is one that I go about 8 sprays with. And honestly, I think I could go more. I could go like 10, 12, maybe even 14 sprays with this. And people honestly would not complain because it is such a weak scent. So that was the first one I got, but that one smells absolutely phenomenal. Dior Homme Sport is the next one I ended up getting. This is a 2017 batch. Pink pepper grapefruit fragrance. A little bit like musky, almost vanillic in the base notes. I don't want to say that there is vanilla. I think it is just a tonka bean that's like a creamy tonka bean. This one's good. The newer batches of Dior Homme Sport are just okay in my opinion. And the most recent one that I had picked up, Dior Homme Intense. I did not like this one at first because I really didn't like iris fragrances, but as my taste has matured, I do like some iris fragrances now, Dior Homme Intense being one of them. Oh, so good. It's just like a more elegant Armani code. What's my favorite Dior cologne? So, I'm going to start by saying this. I think that these 3 Dior Homme fragrances are absolutely phenomenal, but my favorite Dior, it's not Dior Homme Cologne. It's not Dior Homme Sport 2017. It's not Dior Homme Intense. It is not Dior Sauvage EDT. my favorite Dior fragrance is Sauvage Elixir. This is just an absolutely beautiful fragrance in my opinion. You know, people want to talk about beast mode fragrances, but a lot of beast mode fragrances prioritize being strong and in your face, opposed to actually having a good scent. The thing that I love with Sauvage Elixir is that, yes, it's a very strong, long-lasting, good projecting fragrance. And this stuff smells absolutely phenomenal. This is a great beast mode fragrance. People are going to want to smell. People are going to be complimenting you. For that reason, Dior Sauvage Elixir is my favorite Dior. Best cologne for rainy days. Honestly, City Rhythm Manhattan is a great rainy day fragrance. Now, my thought process with this is different than majority of people's thought process with, you know, a rainy day fragrance. Some people, like me, will try to actually match their fragrance. You know, they might want to wear something aquatic. They'll want to wear something that will match the rainy weather. And that, you know, I suppose you could say idea I agree with. I like to match, you know, the fragrance to the weather. If it's a really bright, uplifting day, I'm going to wear something fresh, something sweet, something poppy. If it is a rainy day, I'm going to wear something that I think would be good, kind of matches the vibe. Some other people, opposite of me, like to go with just a cheap fragrance on a rainy day because it will get washed off or will get, you know, rained off, because I guess when the cologne is on your skin, a little bit of rain is going to mess it up, which that honestly doesn't happen. You can smell your cologne after you sweat. You can smell it after it's raining. City Rhythm Manhattan would be my go-to rainy day fragrance. Smelling it, it's citrusy, it's powdery. There is this tea note in there, and it's a very strong tea vibe with this fragrance. Relaxing, and honestly, if, you know, say you're walking, I don't know, downtown, you're walking in downtown Manhattan, you see whatever that thing is. I don't even know what that is. You see this thing, someone walks past you, it's raining, and you catch a big whiff of this, and you're going to think that they smell absolutely phenomenal. All right, I figured out why my thing was lagging. It's because I was on the phone, but it's... Oh, gotcha, Tyler. Yeah, like, if you're on the phone, bro, fuck being on a social media. It sucks. Do you have Fahrenheit? I do not have Fahrenheit. No, I think Fahrenheit is good, but I don't think it's something I would necessarily wear, just because I do like those, you know, more youthful fragrances. Scent of the day is OG Camera. Kind of chilly today. You wanted something gourmand, and you haven't worn Camera in a minute. Honestly, Tyler, I think, you know, gourmand fragrances are decent, but I'm a freshy guy. I'm freshy gang, I suppose, if you want to say. Something like Lattafa Camera Kawa is good, and it's something that, you know, you can wear, that you can get compliments with. However, if I'm wearing a gourmand fragrance, it has to be super cold, dude. Like, a lot of the times I'll say, oh, you know, you have a cool weather fragrance. The only time you should really be wearing that in the warm weather is if you're dressing it up. With gourmands, I do not think like that. You should not be smelling like a tiramisu or like a sugary coffee when it's hot out. You should smell fresh, in my opinion. So, yeah. I think gourmand fragrances are good. And it definitely could be just because, you know, because we're going into some warmer weather, that I have definitely been, you know, wearing my fresh fragrances a lot more. But honestly, I genuinely think fresh/sweet fragrances are better than gourmand/spicy fragrances. Scent of the day is La Mole Parfum, the best JPG in my opinion. I don't think La Mole Parfum is bad, and I definitely am coming around to that one more. But again, I don't think it's something that I'm going to get anytime soon. Do you know why 1 Million Royal lasts so long and isn't overpowering? Honestly, I couldn't tell you. I know like 1 Million Parfum, Royal, and Elixir are pretty strong fragrances. And like with those fragrances, you definitely can overspray them. But I think, honestly, as a whole, the 1 Million line, even if you spray a little bit too much, no one's really going to complain with that line. Scent of the day, 62 by Sol de Janeiro. I don't know if I've ever smelled that one. I smell a decent amount of the Sol de Janeiros, but I don't know if I've tried that one. David Martin, what's going on? I usually smell like burnt coffee. Smell like burnt coffee and the cookie dough creamer you have. Did you try the new Comrade Dukan? I haven't, but I've heard it smells like the OG Comrade, but toned down with sweetness and more spicy. So, from what my understanding is with that fragrance, Dukan in Arabic translates to smoke. So it's like the original Comrade but made smoky. Maybe something a little bit closer to Angel Share, because I know Angel Share does have a smoky vibe to it. But I don't know. I have not personally tried it. It might be something on my list. But I don't really know, because from what I've heard with the Comra line, if you have one of them, you kind of have all of them. What's a cologne that everyone glazes, but you think honestly smells terrible? Cologne everyone glazes that I think honestly smells terrible. That's a good question, because like even fragrances that I don't necessarily like that a lot of people love, I don't think smell terrible. Like Le Male Parfum doesn't smell terrible. Dior, well, I guess Dior Fahrenheit doesn't really get a lot of love. You know, the Bleu de Chanel line doesn't smell terrible to me. They're just not necessarily fragrances that I like that much. That's a great question. Fragrances that people hype up and glaze, but I think smells terrible. I guess I'd probably have to go. Oh, Valentino Yellow Dream. That is a disgusting fragrance in my opinion. A lot of people are like, "Oh, it smells like a lemon ginger cookie or something like that." It smells like shit, dude. Old Spice. From what I've heard, the Old Spice aftershave does not smell like what it used to. I was at Walmart with my mom. She said that her grandpa used to wear it, and she smelled it. She said it was nothing like it used to be. It doesn't smell terrible, but for me, Bleu de Chanel gets way too much hype. It's the most basic cologne I've ever smelled. I definitely agree. Because why would you spend, $150 on a Bleu de Chanel? That's about a little $130 to $190 is what I think the Bleu de Chanel's go from in the 3.4 ounce. You cannot get them on discounters, and if a discount site does get them, they're only going to be $5, maybe $10 cheaper. Why would you go with a Bleu de Chanel? Hey, Dave, peace. Thank you for stopping in. Love you, man. Why would you spend $130, $104 on the EDT of Bleu de Chanel, let alone spend $170, $190 on the Eau de Parfum and the Parfum, when you can spend less than 100, get Sauvage, which in my opinion gets more compliments and smells better than Bleu de Chanel, or something from the Acqua di Gio line, which in my opinion is way better than the Bleu de Chanel line. That's something that I've honestly never understood. Bleu de Chanel doesn't smell bad. The whole line smells good. They don't necessarily last that long, and they kind of smell basic, you know? I'd rather spend $20 on Nautica Voyage than $120 on Bleu de Chanel, when Nautica Voyage is honestly better. Tyler, I think Nautica Voyage is decent. However, for me, that's a very situational fragrance. I wore that when I was gonna, go outside, play basketball, something like that. That was a fragrance that I would throw on because I knew that I was, gonna be sweating. I was gonna get, a workout in, whatever. Which that is why I liked Nautica Voyage, and that's why I had it in my collection. One of my brother's friends was like, "Oh, this is a pretty good fragrance." And I was like, "Dude, do you want it?" And he took it, obviously. But it's like, here's the thing. $20. $20. A lot of people who, aren't really into fragrances, they're going to think, $20, what can I get for $20? There's a lot of good fragrances that you can get for $20, I guess these aren't exactly $20. Spend $10 more, get something that's better. Why spend $20 on Nautica Voyage when you could spend $30 on Hawas Ice, when you can spend $25 on Cod Lodge Shiaka Blue? You can spend less than Nautica Voyage, $17, and get Maison Alhambra Bright Peach. Yes, I understand. Nautica Voyage, you can find out your racks for $20 very often. You don't have to pay for shipping or anything like that. What am I choking on? But honestly, I don't know what is in my throat. But honestly, don't buy Nautica Voyage. Spend $10 more. Get something better. Where do you buy your colognes? So a decent amount of these I find at my local rack stores, which I have a TJ Maxx and a Ross near me. So those are how where I get them in store. I don't buy them. I don't buy them retail, obviously. And my go-to discounter, I've ordered off of Fragrance Net, but my go-to discounter is Joma Shop. I understand, yes, the shipping time is kind of bad. They have pretty good prices. I know that they don't have the best prices. However, Joma Shop is just a nice company that I enjoy buying from. I don't wear Voyage too often. It's pretty good, but I only wear it if it's going somewhere quickly or I have a gym class since it's subtle and fresh, but a bit too synthetic. I agree with you. It does definitely have some green syntheticness in it, but it's $20. What do you expect? Do I think I'd ever consider buying one of the Dubai chocolate fragrances? Probably not. For this one, I guess for two reasons. One, I don't really like gourmands, and that one's going to be a gourmand. And two, I hate hearing people say Dubai chocolate. I do not know why. I think it might be because the Dubai chocolate trend was huge, and whenever I'd be scrolling, that's all I would hear. Dubai chocolate this, Dubai chocolate that. Dude, if somebody offers me Dubai chocolate, I'm swinging on them. Joma Shop is the GOAT. Joma Shop is great. And again, yes, they don't have the best prices and they don't have the best shipping times. However, they're just a good brand to buy from. They're straight up. They have great customer service. They're good, However, niche fragrances, don't buy them off of Joma Shop. Buy them off of Fragrance Nevea. My buddy bought a 4.2 ounce of Sedley from Fragrance Nevea. Wasn't even on sale for $200. My friend bought a little bar of of it for $10. Chocolate with pistachio and coconut. How good can it be? I don't even think it's coconut, Tyler. It's I don't know exactly what it is, but it's just Middle Eastern I don't know. It does look like coconut flakes though. But I don't know what it is. It almost looks like little twigs, honestly. But yeah, whatever it is, it doesn't seem that good. Here's the thing. If somebody offered me Dubai chocolate, I wouldn't swing on them. I would probably try it. However, I don't know if I really want to walk around smelling like chocolate and pistachio. The Ice Bucket Challenge is trending again in my school somehow. I've seen a couple people actually posting that online. It looks nasty, to be honest. Looks like you put a bunch of shit you found in a forest inside chocolate. Yeah, and it's I don't know. It doesn't really look appetizing. But I don't know. I think it could be something cool to make. It could be good. But again, I see a bunch of people sell, kind of like you were saying, a little bar of it for $10. Or they have a big bar and it's pay $20 and then pay $10 in shipping to get it. And it's no. Plus, all that chocolate's gonna fucking melt, dude. I don't understand. Here's the thing. Ordering chocolates and stuff that have to be delivered, they're gonna get hot, dude. They're gonna melt. I don't know. Well, I guess in some cases they will. In some cases they won't. But I don't know. My issue, I used to have a chocolate fragrance. I liked it at first, but I really did not like it. And it's kind of thrown me off with chocolate fragrances. The only chocolate fragrance I smell currently that I enjoy, my girlfriend wears Choco Musk sometimes. I like that one. I don't know if there's chocolate in this, but she wears one of the Sabrina Carpenters, and it kind of has a slight, chocolatey vibe. I like that one. I like chocolatey perfumes. I don't really think chocolate's good for guys, to be honest, though. If you want my personal recommendation for a good, gourmandy fragrance, the one that I will recommend, I guess there's two that I will recommend, but Lattafa Camera is one of those gourmands that I do like. But again, I'm not going to wear this one that often. Paris Corner Tiramisu Speculoos is another gourmand that I like, but I'm not going to wear them that often, I've had these fragrances since Christmas. I don't know why I tipped it upside down. It's harder for you guys to see. I've worn I think I've worn this twice since Christmas. I think I've worn this 2 or 3 times since Christmas. They're good fragrances. However, I simply don't wear gourmands that much. Even when it is the winter, I'm not really wearing gourmands. I'm not wearing fresh fragrances in the winter, obviously. But, in the winter, I'm going for something sweet, Say it's the winter, I'm going something like ambery and vanilla, like Prada Black. Something like a sweet vanilla, something like Ultramall. I'll go a straight up sweet fragrance, something like Mancera's Instant Crush, which smells phenomenal. Or I do like some spicy fragrances. I suppose this one could count as a gourmand, and if this one does count as a gourmand, then it would probably be my favorite gourmand, City Rhythm Austin. It smells like, I can never decide what it smells like. It either smells like an apple pie to me or it smells like cinnamon applesauce. Regardless, if it smells like cinnamon applesauce, it's a really nice smelling cinnamon applesauce. And if it's an apple pie, it's a very good smelling apple pie. Choco Must, Eros EDT, Nautica Voyage are your most worn colognes in your school. The kids always douse themselves in it. You can smell them from down the hall. Like, bro, you need 4 sprays. And honestly, here's the thing. The one thing that I hate with people who aren't really into fragrances is they will have like one fragrance, they'll think it's phenomenal, but they will fucking shower themselves in that. And it's like, I don't know. My biggest pet peeve is oversprayers. I believe fragrances have a cap to how many sprays you should do. Now, that cap changes depending on the fragrance. If you're wearing a strong extrait de parfum, maybe only go, I don't know, with an extrait de parfum, I go about 3 sprays. I think that's good for an extrait de parfum. And it really does just depend. Some fragrances, like Dior Homme Cologne, you can go 10 plus sprays and get away with it. Some fragrances, like Arabian's Tonka, I did 2 and that was too much. So, I don't know. That's one of my biggest pet peeves. That's like kids in 5th grade that think Axe body spray is their shower in a can. Dude, the people who wear Axe body spray low-key piss me off. And here's the thing. If you're wearing it because that's all you can afford, that is a completely different thing. If you are wearing it as a antiperspirant or deodorant, that is a totally different thing. Now, personally, I recommend get a deodorant or an antiperspirant. I don't think antiperspirants are that bad, personally. But I personally just wear deodorant. You will have to reapply it. The only difference with an antiperspirant and deodorant is aluminum. There's aluminum in antiperspirants, and that is what kind of stops you from sweating. And then deodorants don't have antiperspirants, or don't have aluminum in them. So my personal recommendation, get a good, long-lasting deodorant or antiperspirant. Y'all can clown on this all you want. Old Spice Captain is my go-to. I think I may switch this up to Dr. Squatch, to be honest. But this has been my go-to for like the past probably 2 years at this point. Yeah, Old Spice Captain, scent of bergamot. To me, it doesn't really smell like bergamot. I don't know exactly what it smells like, but it is just like this fresh, masculine scent. I enjoy it. Invest in a good deodorant. You don't want to spend, what's the point of spending $4,000-$5,000 on fragrances when you stink because you're not wearing a good deodorant or an antiperspirant, To be honest, I used to have Axe, you didn't overspray it, used like 3 sprays, and I used a normal deodorant. And it's like, here's the thing. As I was saying, if that's all you can afford, or if that's really all you want and you know how to use it, perfect. More epic randomness. What's going on? I use Degree Sport antiperspirant. It's actually the best deodorant in my opinion. I can't remember what Dr. Squatch deodorant I smell. It might have been, I can't remember exactly what it was, but it was like one of their like more like spicy scents, but I liked it. It was like it wasn't Bayside rum or whatever it is. I can't remember exactly what it was. Scent of the day, Lattafa Ram Silver. Lattafa Rams Silver is, of course, a clone of Jean Paul Gaultier's Ultramall. I think it's good. I think Ram Silver is the best clone of Ultramall I've ever smelt. take that with a grain of salt. I've only smelled two. I smell it 9 p.m. and I've smelled Ram Silver. Ram Silver is by far better, but it doesn't have as good longevity and projection. But if you want to straight up smell like Ultramall, Ram Silver is the way to go. And Rams Gold is a clone of Xerjoff Alexandria 2. Just bought Dr. Squatch, Wood Barrel, Bourbon, Cologne. Didn't know how they made a clone for $50. It was definitely worth it. So, Luke, if you think a cologne for $50 is crazy, let's talk about Mason Alhambra cloning a Tom Ford and selling it for $17. That's crazy. But they can do it because Middle Eastern fragrances choose kind of not to scam you. Their cost is like $3, $4, maybe $5 max a bottle, but at this point, because they're such, Middle Eastern fragrances are huge, they're pretty damn cheap to make. Now, with more expensive niche fragrances, the cost is pretty much the exact same. However, they choose to amp up those prices. Middle Eastern fragrances are the way to go if you're on a budget and if you actually want to get your money's worth. Some people will sit here and argue and say, I don't know exactly how much Nishani Ani is retail. Let's say Ani is $350 for the 3.4 ounce retail. Some people will sit here and argue with you all day. No, Nishani Ani is worth all $350 you spend if you buy it retail, and it's even more worth it if you buy it off a discounter. When in reality, this cost Nishani, let's see. This sticker, this front plate here, $1. This cap, $1. The atomizer, $1. The bottle, $2. The cologne in here, let's say it's more expensive. Let's say this cologne in here is $10. In the end, $15 max is what this costs in Nishani to make. And they're selling it for $350. That's over 20 times the price. So in the end, fragrances are kind of a scam no matter what. And yes, there are some other costs. I understand marketing costs money. Some brands send fragrances out to people. That costs money. However, in the end, they pay their perfumer, whatever. They are still making a lot of money. You should join Chris's live right now. Well, I can't join Chris's live because I'm live right now. Also, I was the one who told you to collab with him. That's right, you were the one. I bought Eros Energy today. It doesn't deserve the hate it gets. I think it's decent. If I were to get it, I would wait till it's cheaper on discounters. Want to try Dr. Squatch's cologne? You see the hype's all about. I've heard the bourbon one and Glacier Falls one. Glacier Falls isn't bad. I've smelt that one. The bourbon one isn't bad either. Some people say it's close to By the Fireplace. I really don't think it is. What about the development costs? Yeah. There's a decent amount of cost. So say after, they pay their perfumer, say that adds $5 more onto every fragrance sold. Marketing, say that's $5 more to every fragrance sold. They sell, they send out fragrances. That's $5 more. $30 max for this fragrance. And then they're still making $300 plus. $350 is too much, not gonna lie. It's not only the price of bottle. Well, right, I understand that. But coming from somebody who has personally done perfumery, attempted to do perfumery, I'm taking a break from it, coming back to it. But, someone who's kind of seen behind the scenes, talked to people, on how much their fragrances cost, which, keep in mind, are a lot smaller brands than these huge brands that can mass produce these fragrances for a lot cheaper. Like Christopher Lee Fragrances, I asked him what his cost is per bottle. He sells them for around $130 to $150, and they cost him $7 to make. And they're double extrait de parfum, so he's using twice the amount of oil that Nishani's using in this extrait de parfum. So I wouldn't say in the end, you're getting scammed, because to some people it is worth it. But just know you're not getting your money's worth no matter what. I mean, I understand that. I still love fragrances. I'm fine not getting my money's worth just because, one, I'm monetized off YouTube so I can make money, but I genuinely just love fragrances. He said he can't join because he's live right now. Yeah, I mean, I can't. I would, but I'm live. Let's see. Let's talk about a couple fragrances. Let's talk about, I don't even know what I want to talk about, honestly. What are some okay. We're gonna talk about this one. This fragrance brand is called R Rebellion. Well, it's R. Rebellion, so I don't know what the first one is. Maybe it is just R Rebellion. That's what I've always called it since I've got it, R Rebellion. They are all clone fragrances. I do not remember what this one is a clone of. They don't say what they're a clone of, but a couple of them I was smelling, and I'm like, okay, that's Baccarat Rouge. That's Dolce & Gabbana the one. I don't know what this one honestly reminds me of. It's called Cadillac Cowboy, and my mom got me this one for my birthday. It's green. It's not floral. It's green. It's citrusy. It's fresh, maybe a little bit aquatic. It's in the vein of like Acqua di Gio, but it's not Acqua di Gio. I don't know what this is, but it smells good, and it lasts a decent amount of time as well, which I think is interesting because if I'm not mistaken, this is just a cologne formulation. It says cologne right there, but I remember I wore this one. So this scent would be something you would wear in the warmer weather, but I wore this one a little bit before Christmas time. I did like 5 sprays, and like 7 or 8 hours after I put this on, I was in my local Hobby Lobby with my mom, and I could still smell this thing off me. Like, it was pretty strong. I really want Amber Oud, Ruby, Sauvage Elixir, JPG Elixir, Versace Wasp. Those are the 4 you've been looking at a lot recently. Honestly, Tyler, I would say probably Versace Huas or Huas Ice would be really good just because they're cheap, and I think that they'd be good for you. How much time are you live? Well, if you're asking how long I've been live for 37 minutes. How long am I going to be live for? I don't know. At least 45 minutes, so we at least have 8 more minutes. I think what I'm planning is we'll bring it up to 45, see how I'm feeling, if I want to continue. You know, because we have people in here, I will continue. If, you know, it's just me, 2 other people talking, I may end it there. Have you tried YSL myself? Yes, I have tried YSL myself. It's one of my brother's signature scents. I've tried the Le Parfum. I'm not the biggest fan. A lot of people say it smells just like YSL myself, the original, but stronger. It does not. To me, myself, Le Parfum smells like a worse version of something like Born Aroma Intense. And I used to love Born Aroma Intense, but to me that fragrance got so boring. Like, it's just a lavender vanilla fragrance. I know lavender and vanilla smells good, but goddamn, Valentino, do something different than just lavender and vanilla. When you put on fragrance, you didn't get any compliments. Well, Billy, it depends. First of all, what fragrance was it? How many sprays did you do? Second of all, were you dressed nice? Were you looking presentable? Because if 1, you don't spray enough, people aren't going to be able to smell you. 2, if you overspray, people are not going to want to talk to you, and they're probably going to think you stink. 3, if you're not dressed nice, and you're kind of dressed like a bum, I'm not calling you a bum, Billy, but if you're not dressed nice, some people might not want to look up to you. And if you're, sitting there mean mugging everyone, no one's really going to want to talk to you. So, one of those could be a reason on why you didn't get compliments. My personal assumption, you could have just not sprayed enough, or you could have sprayed too much. That's normally what I see. However, there are some people from some cities that no matter what, you just don't get a compliment. I have a buddy in New York City who's a fragrance content creator as well, and he says he has never gotten a compliment from, obviously gets compliment from his friends and family, but never had a compliment from a stranger because that's just not how the culture is there. Me, I'm in Montana. We're pretty friendly people up here in Montana, I would say. I've gotten compliments when I'm in public. I've gotten compliments when I'm at school, obviously from friends and family. It really just does depend on the situation, and then yourself as well. If you're somebody naturally people are going to look at, they're going to think, this guy's chilling, having a good time. I want to go give him a compliment. You know, they're going to do it. In the end, if people are looking at you, they're like, yeah, whatever. People aren't going to give you a compliment. Lattafa Camera and Polo Blue are your most complimented fragrances, mainly people from my school and my family. I had someone the same person compliment Dior Homme Sport twice. This one, and now granted, this guy is my buddy and he does know about like my YouTube channel and everything. But he had walked past me. Actually, we were in the back. No, he had walked. Oh, I almost dropped that. He walked past me in the hall, turns around and he goes, "Damn, Mikey, you smell good." So I'm like, "Oh, thanks." First compliment from this. That was like third period or something like that. Seventh period rolls around. It's the passing period between sixth and seventh period. I go to the bathroom. The kid walks in behind me, walks past me, and then again he goes, "Damn, Mikey, you smell good." I was like, "Damn, thanks." So he obviously liked that. He liked this one a lot. He really liked this one. Tyler, I know I read the comment. Did I respond? I don't know if I responded to it. Camera, so I have Camera Crawa. I haven't smelled the original Camera, but it seems like it would be good. And Polo Blue is a good freshie. So I could definitely see you getting compliments, I will say this, it's easier to get compliments from friends and family. Strangers are less likely to want to give any compliments because they might not have the courage to tell you you smell good. Exactly. That I was kind of beating around the bush from just exactly saying that. But yes, the easiest way of what I was trying to say, Billy, is what More Epic Randomness said. Yeah, that makes sense. Every Friday that you put 5 sprays on, or you put on 5 sprays and you dress good, but I live in India. I don't know anything about Indian culture. I know a decent amount of my view. Wait. I feel so dumb. I was thinking Billy was someone new. If I'm not mistaken, let's see. Let's look at Billy. Let's look at his channel activity. Yeah, okay. Billy, I don't know how I was just like blanking the whole time. I was thinking you were someone new. But one thing that is interesting, so my main viewers are from America. It goes America, like 50% of people. And then it's like India with like 8% of all my viewers coming from India. And then I have like 7% is from like the United Kingdom, which is just crazy to me. But honestly, Bill, like, I don't know, like, I don't want to say anything, obviously. I will say it, but do not think that this is me, like, singling the, Indian people out. There is obviously that stigma that goes around that Indian people don't smell good. Which I don't know. That one doesn't make sense. I don't even know why I brought that up because that has nothing to do with what I was talking about. But Billy, just know you are beating that stereotype right there. You're saying you're putting on cologne, you're dressing nice. Even just that alone, you're still going to stand out. And in the end, people will be able to smell your cologne, and they're probably going to think that you smell good. Maybe you haven't gotten compliments yet, but eventually you're bound to get a compliment. Also, Eros Energy is pretty complimented too on the dry. It smells like a lemon head. I love it. It smells way better on the dry down. So for me, the opening was like a lemon head. Like, it was like a straight up lemon candy to me. And then the dry down was just Aventus-y. So it was okay. It wasn't anything crazy in my opinion, honestly. Yeah, like, it's okay. It's nothing crazy. I think it's good if it were to be like the price of the other Eroses. Why would I spend $110 on air? Well, I suppose you could get off a discounter now for around $90. Hey Billy, have a good night, man. Why would I spend $90 on a discounter for Eros Energy when I could spend like $70 on Eros Flame? And to me, Eros Flame is the better citrusy Eros compared to Energy, and it lasts longer, projects better than Energy, and smells more unique. Simply because I do get mad, like, Creed Aventus vibes from Eros Energy. Let's see. I think we have 6 people in. I don't know. I think I'm just going to end it here. 45-minute live. If you guys have not already, please double tap the screen and drop a sub. I would really appreciate it. Well, my aunt gifted me Eros Energy for my birthday, 50 ml, so I think it's around like 80, 85. Yeah, it's like anywhere from like 70 to like 85 bucks for the 50 ml retail. And then it's like 110, 120 or something for the full 100 ml. I think it's good. If when it gets cheaper, if it drops down 60, 70 bucks like the other Eros is, I may get it. Hey, Tyler, have a good night. Everyone else have a good night. I'll see you all in the next video. Please drop a sub if y'all have not already. Peace, everyone.